If you've been thinking about it, I'm here to tell you yes, go right ahead. Go right ahead and buy the Suzuki Baleno. This is an excellent car. It offers you everything you could ever need. You have practicality, you have spec, you have reliability. It's amazing. And all this comes at a very reasonable price. Ladies and gentlemen, the Baleno. In my week with it, I got to drive it around by day, by night, took it on some of my adventures, which you'll see throughout the review. So without wasting any of your time, let us get, wait for it, starting. Now, let's get started. One girl not enough for me. Two girls not enough for me. Go listen to the album. I'm not a good singer. Hashtag mess country. So we're gonna start with the interior this time. You have this massive infotainment screen. It has Apple CarPlay, it has Android Auto, 9 inches by the way. You have a proper aircon system, easy to understand. Even at night you could just like press it, flick it, it'll work, no stress. You get one USB in front, and you also have a 12-volt socket. And as you guys can see, the model I had with me is a manual. By the way, thank you Suzuki for giving us an armrest. All you other brands who are stingy with armrests, I hope you're taking notes. Do the right thing. Give us armrests. And I've said it on all my Suzuki reviews, I am a big fan of Suzuki steering wheels. Flat bottom, nicely done. You have all the shortcut buttons over there. You can adjust your volume. You can set up your cruise control. Yes, it has cruise control and I did use it. More on that later. And on the GLX model, you also get a 360-degree view camera, which is perfect because I know a lot of people who buy the Suzuki Baleno are first-time drivers. So this will help you a lot to not park over the line and not climb pavements and not reverse into things. It's nice and clear enough. And I applaud Suzuki for this because on a lot of other brands, this is an expensive extra. So, well done Suzuki, well done. And I didn't forget, earlier I put out a poll asking if there are any things you'd like me to cover in the review. I've read through all your comments and all your questions, and throughout this review, I'll do my best to answer all your questions. Actually, let me say I'll answer most of your questions in case I miss one or two. Now, as you know, I name all my test cars. We've had Orange, the EcoSport, Valentine, the Mahindra, and now I present to you Sizwe, the Suzuki. If you're wondering why I named it Sizwe, because it just looks like a Sizwe. Look at it. Sizwe, Sizwe. Anyway, let's get back to the review. So to get a good understanding of the driving experience of the Baleno, I took it to different kinds of roads. So I drove it in the suburb, I drove it on the highway, and even for some of you guys who live in areas that don't have tar roads everywhere, I also drove it a bit around the park to simulate a gravel road. I was honestly impressed with the Baleno. Very smooth, very comfortable, handles bumps well. If you've never driven one, just go for a test drive before you buy one and see how you like it. During the 1 week I had it, I drove it for around 545 kilometers and around town, like with the robots and stop signs. And now because of load shedding, you really find traffic wherever you go. My fuel consumption was around 6.3, which is on me because this is a very fuel efficient car. I'm pretty sure you cannot do worse than 6.3 unless you're trying to. But when I took it on the highway, which I'll talk about a bit later, I was finding figures of around 5.9 liters per 100, which is very impressive because the claimed fuel economy is 5.4 liters to the 100. So it's pretty close to that. And one more thing I forgot to mention, the clutch on this car. As I said, it is so smooth. You will not stall for no reason. You know there are cars where you just stall and you're like, hey man, what happened? This one, nice and smooth. Now, the majority of the questions I received had to do with the highway. How does it drive? What are the revs? And so on and so on. Okay, first of all, at 120 kilometers, your revs are sitting at 3,000, which is a bit high. So you can hear the engine, you can hear it's crying out and saying, Suzuki, I wish you gave me a 6th gear. That would have been nice, but it's really not that bad, but it does drone. Someone asked at 140, where are the revs? What are you doing at 140? The speed limit is 120. But to answer you, they'll be at 3,500. And as I mentioned earlier, all models of the Baleno come with a cruise control system. So whether you get the GL or GLX model, don't stress, you have cruise control. And it really does come in handy when you're going on long journeys or on the highway, especially when there isn't a lot of traffic. And if you're wondering, the Baleno comes with a 1.5 liter naturally aspirated engine, which means it doesn't have a turbo. It produces 77 kilowatts and 138 Newton meters of torque. And because of all the premium touches the Baleno has, a lot of people forget it's a budget car. So things like wind noise and all that stuff, yes, it is there, but the sound system is decent. If I had to rank it, it's much better than the sound system you get in the Mahindra XUV 300 and much better than the sound system in the Ford EcoSport. The bass is there, but it's not that Ford Fiesta kind of bass, but it's really good. You'll enjoy your music, you won't have any issues. And another major difference between the GL and GLX model is that the GL comes with 2 airbags, whereas this top spec GLX model comes with 6. Remember, you don't add any optional extras on a Baleno. You either buy a GL or a GLX. So to the person who asked about a sunroof, no Baleno comes with a sunroof. In fact, I don't blame you for thinking that because the interior looks so good. You'd be forgiven for thinking maybe this should have a sunroof. So Suzuki, I hope you're listening. Please consider adding a sunroof to one of your cars in the near future. Clutch, change gear. Clutch, change gear. The reason I'm doing this is because I got a lot of questions asking me about the automatic. I haven't driven the automatic, so I don't want to lie to you. I don't know how it is on the highway, but I can tell you, if it has 4 gears and this manual has 5 and it still drones, I'm pretty sure the automatic will either do the same or be slightly worse. But if you own a Baleno automatic, please let us know in the comments what it's like on the highway, what it's like around town. It will help a lot of people who are interested in the car. And you know what else would be interesting? Liking and subscribing. If you haven't liked, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Support local YouTube, guys. It's the right thing to do. Let's have a look at the back seats. The back seats of the Baleno really impressed me. This car is spacious. It has plenty of room. Spamandla would be more than happy to sit back here. Grown-ups would be more than happy to sit back here. Plenty of knee room, plenty of leg room. You get an air vent, you get USB Type-C, you get a USB socket. So everybody's happy, everyone is sorted. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the boot. There's someone in the comments who keeps asking me to sit in boots. Zinhle, I think. There, I said in the boot. I hope you're happy. The boot space, 314 liters. It's very deep. You also get a spare wheel in case of an emergency, hidden somewhere there. But the load lip is huge. It's a lot. But that's not necessarily a bad thing because you can fit in a lot of stuff. As you'll see, I still have some of PA suitcases. They fit in very nicely and leave a lot of room for more things. So if you're the type of person who needs a big boot, this is the car for you. I mean, look at all these configurations. I'm making sure you know this is a big boot. In fact, this would pass Chiro's cooler box test. It would. The light, I don't know why it's not automatic, but it's there. And if you need a place to chill, chat, maybe follow me on Instagram or Twitter, there is the boot. Plenty of space there. I'll leave links in the description. To those who already followed, thank you, thank you, thank you. Another feature you only get on the GLX model is the head-up display. Now, some people like it, some people find it a bit distracting. You let me know in the comments what you think of it. I got used to it pretty quickly. The main idea behind it is you see the speed on it without having to look at the dials. Even when you change your climate control, the temperature also appears on the head-up display, which is a nice touch. You can even select how you want it to look, and it also tells you the time. And here's a hot tip to save yourself a lot of heartache. Do not date people with dirty cars. People who do not wash their cars are not to be trusted. I'm telling you now for free. Think about all your exes. Did they wash their cars? The answer is no. Well, now you know why. So, our cost of ownership. The Suzuki Baleno GLX comes in at 281,900 Rand. On finance, that is 5,366 Rand. For a full tank, you'll pay 802 Rand because it has a 37-liter fuel tank, which is on the small side. If you get an insurance premium of 1,300 Rand, your total cost of ownership would be 7,468 Rand. But because we live in a world where lemon creams are now 24 Rand, I'm sure you'd like to save as much money as possible. So if you feel the Baleno GLX is a bit pricey for you, you could always go for the GL model. It comes in at 231,900 Rand, which is 50,000 Rand less than the GLX. So to your finance, that is 952 Rand that you'd save every month. You can use that for a full tank of petrol. And last but not least, you get a 4-year, 60,000 kilometer service plan and a 5-year, 200,000 kilometer warranty. And to answer the question, would I go with a Toyota Starlet or a Suzuki Baleno? Since they're the same car, it really just comes down to which badge you prefer. But personally, I'd go with the Suzuki. I just prefer the Suzuki because it's the original and it has one or two nicer features here and there. But Suzuki, thank you for lending me your car. To all the locals, thank you for watching this review. I hope you really enjoyed getting to know Sizwe, the Suzuki. And until the next one, take care. May I please have one chocolate milkshake?
I beg your pardon, one?
One chocolate milkshake, please.
Sorry, but I can't have any shake.
Oh. Okay. Alright, no, thank you.
Hmm?